Welcome back to another evening of Scotch Hour. I'm Noah.
And I'm Jesse. Trappers Bar and Grill. This establishment is in the Holiday Inn in Parker. Man, it was interesting, to say the least. Yeah. First thing I gotta say, we'll start with the food. Well, actually, we won't even. You go to the Holiday Inn. It's on the 4th floor. So the one potential win here is you don't have any doors near, doors near seats where you're worried about your food getting cold because people are coming in and out. So that was kind of one win. But there were a lot of drawbacks that went with that. And the decor for me was not sexy at all. It was not attractive. It was mediocre at best. That being said, we did sit down. We ordered our food. My food was delicious. I had the patty melt, which goes for $17. Literally, it was fantastic. The fries, delicious. The patty melt, delicious. The pricing in here was not as delicious. Definitely not as great as a place like the Tailgate. So I did get 2 ground beef patties. Now with this, they do cut their own meat in the restaurant, as we were told. So they use the leftover filet. And New York strip meats to make the patties super tender, delicious. They grill those up, have some caramelized onions on top, white and yellow American cheese, and then 2 pieces of Texas toast. The food was absolutely delicious. I have 0 complaints about the food. The service was a little interesting. It was unforgiving, if you will, and relentless. It wouldn't give me a minute just to take a breath at times. So with that all together, man, the food was a win. This is where it also gets tricky. This is not a fast food restaurant. It's trying to be a high-end restaurant, their namesake food being the filet, which they bring out a lava stone, and after they sear both sides, they let you cut off pieces and cook it yourself. I think we both struggled with that idea. The food was good. For mine, if you consider it a middle-of-the-road restaurant, the food was a solid 8. The service, this is where it gets a little tricky. It wasn't bad, but there were detrimental behaviors with it. So the service was a 6, and the environment for a mid-range to high-range restaurant was at best a 5. So overall, it's getting a 6 from me. And what do you think, man?
Are you going to take a date or anything there first?
Not planning on taking a date there. Not planning on going there with friends. And it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. There were so many better places.
Okay, so as you mentioned, it is inside a hotel there. They do advertise as you being able to like walk up and go to the restaurant. So when you first go in there, you see like an entrance for the Trappers Grill, and I thought it was going to be on the main level. You did mention it was up on the 4th floor, so this does give the opportunity for you to have the nice views of the front range. And the view is actually pretty nice up there. It's not bad. It's not like some of the nice views that you get from one of the from some of the restaurants that you'll go in downtown Denver and sit on the top of one of those skyscrapers up there. But it was still a pretty good view for where it's located at there in Parker. A plus, as you mentioned, since it is on the 4th floor, you don't have to worry about if it's wintertime and being inundated with cold air blasting you every time the door opens when people walk in. That is a huge plus. I know both of you and I have experienced that at a different restaurant, and it made our dining experience miserable. The atmosphere or the decor in the place... I have no idea what they're really trying to accomplish. I have no idea what they're trying to accomplish here. I do think they wanted to come across let me start over here. Because if you look at the name Trappers, right? I'm expecting, if I'm going to go into a place like called Trappers, I'm expecting meats from like deer and bison and quail and stuff like that. I'm thinking about like, you know, like the old mountain men and like catching, you know, like meat from like, you know, hunting meat, game meat, you know,
some rattlesnake nachos.
Yeah, something like that. But that's not what you get there. And I would also expect, you know, with a name like Trappers, for the environment or the decor, they have that same type of like maybe old muskets on the wall and pictures of like, you know, cowboys or mountain men and trappers and, you know, seeing like snowshoes up there or something like that. But none of that exists. When you do go into this restaurant, and once again, I'm saying I have no idea what they're trying to accomplish here, because it feels like I'm going into like a 1970s diner. You got these like, it's like the lights are dark and dingy colored. The walls are kind of sparse. They do have, you know, they're trying to accomplish something high end, or at least that's what they're thinking, because every like, I don't know, a few tables you see like along the walls, you see one of those 3-liter Magnum bottles of wine that are there for display, but it doesn't. It actually like makes it look worse than making it look better. And the wait staff. There's so much potential here for this restaurant, maybe.
It was a struggle.
But the wait staff, I'm not sure if they're rejects from like a nice restaurant. They're friendly. Don't get me wrong. They're friendly. And they mean well, but they're not very good.
Trapper's Bar and Grill, where you can feel trapped.
So the atmosphere or the decor feels like I'm going into like some 70s diner. They're trying to decorate it up, make it look like it's better than what it really is, with these like 3-liter bottles of wine. They have a bookcase where they're trying to display stuff, but that was sparse as it was. They only had like a couple things in there, and it actually made it look worse than what it really was. And then, but the food is a total win.
The food was a total win.
I got the pasta alla vodka. Now it's $18 for the chicken if you get the chicken version, and $22 if you get the shrimp. And I asked if I can have it split, like do chicken and shrimp. Now, if I was going to, like, I don't know, I think the waitress here or maybe the restaurant maybe took advantage of me on this.
They didn't hear split.
Yeah, they didn't hear split. What they did is they charged me another $8 for chicken on top of the shrimp price. So now my meal went from possibly being like something like a $22 one where I got like a little bit less chicken and a little bit less shrimp, to being like a $30 dish. It was great, but I don't think it was worth $30. If I were to go back, I probably would just get just chicken or just the shrimp version of it. I would give the meal itself like you. I would give it an 8. I think it was decent. The atmosphere, no, I'm not going to take a first date there. I am, unless like there's a possibility of like maybe getting lucky on that first date in the bathroom or something. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Well, that's why it's in a hotel.
Yeah, but no, honestly, I would not take a first date there. Would I meet friends there? Hell no, I'm not going to meet a friend there. There's like no reason to.
Tailgate just down the street.
Yeah, I just got to tailgate with my buddies and watch a game there and get like a $12 burger or something. Overall, I think I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to have to give it like a 6. There is a whole lot of potential there, but I think they have to like change the lighting. They have to change the decor. And honestly, I think they have to do an upgrade on the wait staff. Like I said, they're friendly, but I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, our server at one point asked us if we knew what we wanted to drink. And then when we both looked like, hey, we just got the menus, she's like, I'll be back in just a minute. Turned around, put something down on the table right next to ours, came back, and she's like, are you guys ready yet? And I'm like, what the bloody hell? Are you kidding me?
Right?